Hello and welcome to the channel. We are here today with the guys at TBS Boat Sales to have a look at this 2018 JEANNEAU MERRY FISHER 1095. Let's go and have a look on board. First thing you'll notice externally while we are out here is obviously the bowsprit anchor and the amount of glazing that these later generation Merry Fishers have, which you'll see when we get on board. Now there is a flybridge variant. This is obviously not the flybridge variant, but they do a 1095 with a flybridge. And all the later generation Merry Fishers are now outboard powered, whereas some of the earlier versions did have inboard engine options. And you can see here we've got a set of Yamaha 300 horsepower outboards. Quite nice. There's a bathing ladder down there, and they carry these the aft deck either side of the outboards to give you the ability to step on and off the boat quite easily. And the other thing that I personally love about outboards is when you're not using them, unlike they are at the moment, you can lift the engines completely clear of the water, so they're not getting algae and anodizing and just generally rotting when they're not in use. Now to do that, you have to slide this whole bench seat forward. So I'm just going to step on board. This is the cockpit space, if you like, with the engines down and the seat folded all the way back, or slid all the way back. Nice dining table there. You've got a really good array of seating that runs right the way around the back across. That section over there, will lift out, so you can effectively gain access to either side of the outboards, because there is then another little swim platform extension down there with a power cable and a bit of storage. If you want to take the outboards out, it's really straightforward. Or lift them out of the water, I should say. We will lift this section out here. We'll take this section out of here. He says, bear with me, cooler. There you go. We can then uncatch the unit here, slide it forwards, and then we can lift the engines up. So once they're out of the water, they're clear of the water. Now that does, with this bench seat slid forward, quite logically eat into your cockpit space. So you do lose the ability to sit at the table, but you can move the table out and move it into the forward position and swing it around, because it is slightly, as you see here, offset. And then you can see now without that cushion there, you've got access round to the other side of the bathing platform. Now there's also access forward to both side decks. We've got the covers on today, so we're going to use the forward door. Much smaller side deck that side, which we'll look at when we go onto the foredeck. And your main entry to the foredeck is on this side. Gas locker down there, and there's a little side entry gate there as well. So now if we head back inside, you will see that there is dinette on the port side, decent size, storage underneath there, and on the starboard side we have the galley up layout, so really useful. Storage down there. You've got your main battery switches in here, little sink under there, double burner gas hob, 1 and 2 in there, microwave oven down there, and then behind this door here is our galley fridge. Now from a dinette point of view, as you can see at the moment, the table's folded down. You can fold this leaf of the table up like so. It's also on a hydraulic leg, or a sort of telescopic leg, so you can drop that down, drop that table right the way down and fill this entire section to make it another berth. And equally this seat, if you're going along, you can flip it into forward position, or aft position I suppose, and now you've got a forward facing companion seat to the skipper when you're going along. Really clever design. So I just fold that back for the sake of that. There's a couple of other things I wanted to show you while we're up here. One is obviously the fact that you have opening window on that side. You've also got opening helm door on that side. Lots and lots of glazing. Storage above us there in these little cupboards. So there is also, this entire section across here is also a storage area, so you can lift that up, fold that up. It folds up with that seat weirdly, giving you access to a pretty decent sized lazarette. And then underneath this little section of carpet here is another sort of inboard lazarette for a bit of storage. And I say a decent bit of storage. It's got some of those infill cushions for the dinette in there at the moment, but just useful space. Because you have those outboard engines, Normally all of down here would be an inboard engine, but because we've moved the engines outboard, that's all storage. There's storage under the seat there. There's a bit of little storage in here as well, just for ropes and things. And as you can see, there's a bit of recessed storage over there for wet lines and fenders. So moving forward, we then have the helm station. Nice little JEANNEAU in-house seat, which slides backwards and forwards with the pop-up bolster. Now you can see that helm door. So from here, you have really easy access to the lead side deck. So this is the wider side deck on this side. If you step outside the door, you've got access straight away to the cleat. And if we look to stern, you've got access through to that stern door in the side, and obviously then access straight out on that deck sponson out onto the pontoon. Now, specification wise, really good spec on this particular variant. Obviously, as we said, we've got the Yamaha outboard 300 horsepower twins, usual array of carling switches down here, Raymarine VHF radio, Lenco trim tabs, and this is really nice to see on a boat of this size, pretty unusual, is bow and stern thrusters. So effectively you can push the boat sideways. You can also pivot it sideways, but because it's a twin engine, this is going to be such a manoeuvrable boat. Controllers for the Yamaha outboards, then you've got the Fusion audio system, and this one also comes with the Webasto central heating system. So that's the boat. Brilliant view forwards, and I'll say with all of this glazing, you've got a really good view around. Now obviously we've pointed out the side glazing, but we also have two glass sunroofs. Both of these can be opened independently, and they've also got these little blinds that you can slide across if you want to keep the sun out or the light out at night if you're sleeping. And there is a curtain package as well here that covers up all of the doors, all of the windows, and then there's a pop-in section here that covers across the windscreen. And finally, from a dash control perspective, we have the searchlight up here, and obviously Raymarine controller down here, autopilot, and it also has the Raymarine radar system on as well. So whilst we're at the side door, let's go out and have a quick turn around the decks. So I mentioned earlier, this is a wider offset side deck. So this is the wider of the two decks. If we go straight round to the bow and look down the other side, you'll notice you do have access, but it's raised rather than being sunk, and it's a little bit narrower. You can now see that searchlight and the radar at the back. You can also see we have these two really decent sized sun lounger cushions on the foredeck. This one is in the down position, and that one is in its sort of folded up position. Light that's throwing itself into the fore cabin. There's obviously then an escape hatch as well, and there's additional storage. If I can do this with one hand, but let's try. Yeah, there you go. Big storage locker in there. Below my feet we have Lumar windlass, and then in here is a bit of storage for your lines and anchor chain. And we looked at it externally, but there you go again. There's the forward bowsprit anchor. A couple of decent purposeful looking wipers. So that's the side decks. So let's go and have a quick look inside. Back through the side door. A section that you probably noticed earlier that takes us down to the cabin area. So rather than having a sliding hatch or a door, it's very light access. It benefits from the light coming in from the sunroof and the windscreens. And as you can see, there's also glazing up here, which helps to put light down into those cabins. So we go forward to the master first. Now, bearing in mind, this is a 34-foot boat with 3 cabins. So this is the master. And again, nice to see there's actually floor space ahead of the bed. So you can stand in this cabin, get dressed. There's storage underneath there, sort of oval bed. And here now you can see those hull windows that we looked at externally. I mean, it's a really grey day down here in the Hamble. And if we open this other hatch here, you can see even on a grey day, there's lots and lots of light. Slight intrusion above the bed there from that locker, but really, if you're sitting up in bed reading, still plenty of room. Nice step up either side into the bed. And because they've got cushioning around the side here, there's a little bit of a storage lip around either side of the bed. And then lockers dotted right the way around. Storage in the form of this shelving unit in here. More cross ventilation from these side windows. A little bit of storage up the top there as well. So a really decent size master cabin for a 34-foot boat. So I then spin around. You can see there's a TV on the wall there. And then we go into the only heads. So this is the shared heads across the whole boat. Electric vacuum flush loo over there. Very stylish. Sink. Again, benefiting from that hull glazing. More glass up the top there. If I step in, we've then got a full separate shower. So a pretty conventional shower. And now if I take a little step back, you can see that glazing above that helps throw light in here. And then there's a little bench seat in there if you want to sit yourself down if you've had a busy day. So this is the only heads, but it is shared across these 3 cabins. So there's across the companionway, there's cabin number 2, I would guess, or this is probably actually cabin number 3 in all fairness, because it is a double, but it's a little bit pinched, but nevertheless it's a double cabin, probably by most people be used for storage or for kids. It does benefit again from those big hull windows, which on a grey day like this makes it quite bright, and it does come with its own pretty decent sized wardrobe. And again, one of those skylights above us. And what's also really great to see is access to the back of the helm station. So in there you've got access to all of the electronics, so you're not flicking panels out or fighting. All the fuses are in there as well, really neat. And then last but by no means least is the cabin that sits under the dinette. Little perch seat in there, a little bit of storage above. Again, access and benefiting from the light coming into those hull windows. And then this is probably, in my opinion, cabin number 2. Really decent sized double berth. All of these, as I say, are heated via the Webasto warm air system. A little bit of storage in there. There is standing headroom in the doorway. And again, you can see if I do this usual headroom, plenty of headroom and lots of light flooding in there. So there you go. So I'll go back on the actually no, I'm going to sit myself in the helm seat to finish here. So I hope you've liked that tour. If you were the owner of this boat and you want to be the owner of this boat, contact TBS Boat Sales. This is the view you'd have looking forwards. Thank you very much for watching. I'll drop in a link to show you the flybridge version of this if you want to have a look, and a couple of videos to follow. Do please like and subscribe. It really makes a difference to us. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time round.